Hi, Rich Leiter here, and welcome to Thoughts on Writing. Okay, so I just recently read two brief selections from my novel, Leaving Home. And so now I would like to read one or two brief selections from my second book, In the World, a collection of stories, poems, and reflections. This is from a story I wrote called My Kind of Fairy Tale. I've known quite a few nutty women during the course of my life, and I've certainly had more than my share of screwy, neurotic, tempestuous relationships with them. However, there was only one nutjob who was actually psychotic enough to accuse me of A, raping her, and B, being an anti-Semitic Nazi racist. It happened like this. I had first met Melody Lindenbaum at the Encounter/Synanon therapy group, which I've been going to every Thursday evening pretty religiously for about 11 months. Melody also attended the group, albeit sporadically, unlike yours truly. One evening, I approached Melody after the Encounter/Synanon session had ended, and then I asked her if she would be interested in going to the movies with me. Melody shrugged her shoulders as if she could either take it or leave it. I convinced Melody that she should take it, although knowing what I now know about floridly psychotic nutjobs in general, and about this floridly psychotic nutjob in particular, with flowing dark hair, full sensuous lips, and unblinking eyes of the bluest blue, suggesting a permanent state of inveterate unawareness, obviously, I say, I very deeply regret my then quasi-Svengali-like powers of persuasion. Asking Melody out had been a huge mistake. Majoring in English literature at college had been a huge mistake. I mean, surely I could have read all of those novels and short stories and poems and plays which I was required to read by all of those tenured English lit professors and non-tenured English lit professors and assistant English lit professors and associate English lit professors, not to mention all of the graduate students. Ah, yes, let's not forget all of the graduate students. Surely, I say, I could have done all of this copious reading on my own time and at my own pace. I mean, did I really have to have some paid academic flunky standing in front of a blackboard or behind a lectern in an auditorium, explaining to me the proper way to read Moby Dick, or The Great Gatsby, or Crime and Punishment, or Tests of the D'Urbervilles, or Heart of Darkness? Of course I didn't. And I never did. I mean, if they have to explain it to you, then why bother reading the book? Why not just skip the book and go straight to the encyclopedia, or to some search engine on the internet? I'm being facetious, of course, but only just slightly facetious. Because the simple fact of the matter is that our entire rigid, antiquated educational system seems to be predicated on the leaky notion that before you can ever hope to do anything in life, anything at all, even reading and writing and looking and just plain thinking, you first have to be trained to do it by a certified, accredited expert. Now, while this leaky notion may certainly be true for some endeavors and for some subjects, it is certainly not true for all of them. For instance, if you want to learn how to repair a car, then I suppose it would be a good idea to learn how to do it from a certified, accredited car mechanic. Or if you want to learn how to build a bridge which isn't going to collapse just as soon as you've finished building it, then I suppose it would be a good idea to go to school first and to study structural engineering. However, when it comes to artistic matters, and to the life of the mind, and to that mysterious, undiscovered country euphemistically called creativity, which is, after all, what all of these English literature appreciation courses are ultimately all about, aren't they? The great mystery of creativity, the great conundrum of creativity, that thrillingly inexplicable, shadowy process whereby two seemingly disparate, unconnected elements are magically synthesized using the imagination. This shadowy process cannot be taught. It can never be taught, even by the most charismatic of charismatic teachers. It has to be self-taught. It has to be earned, because if it isn't earned, then it's just theory. But anyway, majoring in English at college had been a huge mistake, huge waste of time and money. Thinking that the world was governed by altruistic, angelic people who just couldn't get a wink of sleep at night for fear that they might have missed something, left some stone unturned in their eternal quest for world peace. That, too, had been a huge mistake. Laboring under the extremely costly delusion that psychotherapy and psychoanalysis were the modern-day secular equivalents of the holy water bottled at Lourdes had been a huge mistake. And finally, not running away from my crazy, dysfunctional, deeply neurotic, controlling parents at the very first chance I got. I'm talking 13 here. I'm talking 8 here. I'm talking 6 here. I'm talking 2 here. And then hitchhiking across the country to Malibu or to Haight-Ashbury. That, too, had been a tremendous mistake. I've made a lot of tremendous mistakes in my life, a lot of tactical errors, a lot of miscalculations. No wonder I'm so freaking smart now.